Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary, direct from our newsroom, otherwise known as my compost heap. Let's see what major stories we're working on now. Hey, it's a calendar, and what does it say? 2006 is almost over, which means it's time to look at some of the top stories of the year past and to figure out how they're going to shake out in 2007. Well, wouldn't you know it? Here's the New Haven Independent crystal ball to help us peer into the future. Well, as we all know, the top story of the year was the distressing increase in youth violence, especially this summer. It really tore at the heartstrings of the city when two 13-year-olds were killed by random bullets. Toward the end of the year, we were getting our act together. We were dismantling some of the parts of community policing that had gone by the wayside and gone in the wrong direction. We got the right idea now. We're going to hire more cops on the beat, more walking patrols and bike patrols. As I peer into the crystal ball, I think things will get better slowly. We moved ahead, too, on immigration, the fastest growing population in New Haven, people coming from Latin America for a better life. Too many of them are scared to tell the police when they're victims of crime, so criminals prey on them because they're worried the police are going to turn them into immigration. We were on the scene when that happened once, when a police officer checking on a slumlord's violation instead turned his visit into a raid on people in the building to see if they were illegally here. But as of today, actually, this week, there is a new policy in place in which police officers will not check the papers of immigrants. And I think things are going to be looking up in 2007. But we'll also be looking up for janitors, because a year-long drive to unionize janitors, the people who clean up office buildings in New Haven, succeeded. And most of those workers are immigrants from Latin America. Their pay is going to go up 42% by the life of this contract, and better yet, they're going to get health care. Speaking of health care, 2006 we saw organizing to pass universal health care in Connecticut, because Massachusetts just did it. Will it happen in 2007? The drive is on. Ooh, it's a little cloudy. I see Governor Rell, who's so upset, feeling the pain of those of us who are going to pay $100 more a month for our electric bills, seem to think there's no problem with families scraping to pay $13,000, $14,000, $15,000 a year so their families can afford to get sick and get health care the way she got health care when she needed it. So I see her in this crystal ball, and I see Jim Amon, the House Speaker, causing problems in passing universal health care. But the rest of the state is united behind it, and we're going to think positive. The trial of the year was for people involved with the old New Haven Savings Bank, which went public. You know, that greed fest that took place. Well, they tracked down some of these middlemen who arranged these sleazy deals to help people illegally make a buck on that conversion. And one of them, John Lucarelli, was found guilty. It was the first time in this country that those security laws are prosecuted and these scammers got caught. He'll be sentenced in 2007. What do we see in the crystal ball? Well, the people who made the big money on that bank conversion, who engineered it and stole the wealth of our community, they're going to make even more money. I think in this crystal ball, it looks like that bank, New Alliance, might even be sold by the end of the year to some conglomerate. Then they'll make their money twice over. Politics this year. We had the big Senate race with Joe Lieberman and Ned Lamont. The Netroots turned out, the grassroots. They made a difference. Even though Ned Lamont did not beat Joe Lieberman in the fight for Senate, he did change the country and lead the Democrats to get a spine nationally and take over Congress. So what's going to happen this year? Well, Joe Lieberman, I think, is going to continue to be a little bit insufferable there in Washington because, you know, he has the balance of power because he's not technically a Democrat anymore, but he votes with them, and if he leaves the party, the Republicans get control. I see him still saying, if you don't vote my way, I might leave the party. I see Ned Lamont taking that group of people he organized statewide and pushing for universal health care and for an end to the war in Iraq and mobilizing that force. And I see the Connecticut for Lieberman party, that party of one that Joe formed to run in the general election. I see a big fight taking place at their convention between some people who don't like Joe, who crashed the party, and some of Joe's remaining supporters in the state. And I see the battle ending with the party supporting a ticket of Lyndon LaRouche and Ross Perot for president in 2008. You heard it here first. What else is going on? Well, here's the pump. So I see that people are pumped up for a better year in 2007. We had a good one in 2006. We're going to move ahead. Oh, and here's the plane. So I guess I'm ready. New Haven Independent's going to take off until January 2nd to recharge our batteries along with you. And here's looking to a better 2007.